Not just young people or recent grads, though, who are concerned about the future of their careers these days. AI is really changing the workplace faster now than ever, leaving many workers wondering what it might mean for their job and their income and their future. Here with some practical advice is money and business expert Derek Kinney. Hey, Derek.
Hi, Jason. Great to see you.
Good to see you too, as always. This is an interesting one, Derek, because you hear people talking about this all of the time, and it doesn't matter what industry they're in. AI is really changing things, and so I guess my first question would be, who should be most worried about AI maybe taking their job?
Well, let me be a voice of reason and say if you have a job where you do repetitive tasks, you're the data entry person, the scheduling person, low-level executive support even, entry-level office work, your role is typically going to be what AI replaces first. Now, the good news is when you have skills like communication, leadership, what we know is in a world of high tech, high touch is what stands out. So the nurses, the teachers, even skilled laborers, managing people, anytime there's people involved, that's where you can still stand out and partner with AI and not be replaced by it.
Okay, that may be making some people take a sigh of relief right now, or maybe a little bit more scared, depending on what they do. Let's talk about what skills are going to matter most, though, in the AI economy, because, at the end of the day here, Derek, what you really want is to still be relevant and to still be sought after.
And that's the key. So many people think, well, I've had 10 years of experience, surely I'll just keep moving up. They weren't planning on technology almost replacing them. So when it thinks about how do you manage people? How do you lead people? How do you manage a project? How do you sell an important idea? How do you increase sales? All of those things AI cannot do. They help behind the scenes. So for many people, this is going to be the uncomfortable truth, Jason, is you want to work on your communication skills, your personal skills, those soft skills that you thought, I left those in junior high and high school. Now you got to bring them back and really get good at that, or AI could become your worst enemy.
All right, time to brush off all those soft skills then. So let's talk about mistakes then, because obviously there's some things you can do right now, and there are also some things that you can be doing wrong right now in this environment. What mistakes are workers making?
Well, first of all, many people are simply burying their heads in the sand. This is a fad. This will pass. My job is safe. I've got job security. And I got to tell you, this is one of those revolutionary moments like the Industrial Revolution back in the day. This is now the AI revolution. It's not going anywhere. The challenge is going to be how fast can companies adopt it, because shareholders want to make sure their companies they're invested in are profitable. Owners and managers and CEOs want to make sure they're cutting costs, and AI is going to be the best way to do that. So what I would tell people is make sure you make one move every day to get more familiar with AI and not back away from it.
I always like when you give those little bitty steps like that, because all of this can seem really overwhelming, Derek, and people might not even really understand the full implications that this is going to have on their job, but those little steps make it much easier to actually do something as you go. All right, so let's talk about what can people do today that might better protect their future. Give us some examples.
Well, this is going to sound crazy simple, but if you were to say, I'm going to read on AI 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day equals almost 2 hours a week. Now you're beginning to get familiar. You're using Claude and Chat and all these different tools, and suddenly you're impressing your kids and your grandkids. But also what I would tell you is ask your kids and your grandkids, if you're old enough, teach me the best hacks you're using with AI. It's going to be the quickest shortcut to you becoming relevant and making sure you keep the job, even grow in the job you thought you might have lost even a month ago.
I like that. Spend a little bit of time and don't be afraid to ask for help. Derek, as always, great information. Really appreciate you, man.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jason.